started the show a little too late for Tony today. I didn't get any messages from him, but he hasn't jumped in either. So I figured I'd go live anyway and talk about early watch. So Midnight seeing his internet, yeah, but his internet was supposed to roll over at the beginning of the month. So I imagine it's probably working now, but yeah, it's hard to know. We'll go for a little while. If he comes on, then great. Otherwise, we'll just mention that doing the early watch show here on the Daily Gun Show channel so that we can help out Tony and Jimmy while they're working on getting their stuff. And the early watch is a show they started a couple of going on 3 years, I would imagine. They title it "A Place Where Freedom and Rights Are the Main Topic, and Uniting as a Community is the Main Goal." So they started getting together in the mornings. This is my recap of it from what I understand. They got together in the mornings and did that on a regular basis, and people enjoyed it. Tony and Jimmy would get together and read the news. Tony's from Illinois, Jimmy's from out here in Arizona, originally from Illinois though. So they've got some common ground. And they would read the news, comment on it, interact with the guests and people that are watching the show live. And I guess it's gone probably through a couple of different little format tweaks. And I was rolling pretty good. And it's been great to see a live show happen with the topic of firearms every single weekday morning. These guys are good together. They are funny and have kind of the same attitudes on things. And an overall emphasis on individual freedom, I would say, is their main interest. And an interesting show. So whenever I saw that they were having some issues and it was burden on Night Strike to launch it every morning, and for him it was kind of in the middle of the day out here at 7:30 in the morning. It's not too hard to do this as the beginning of a day. Anyway, they were having some issues there, so I figured I'd help out. And we're still waiting to hear back. We did talk to Jimmy last weekend over the holiday, and nothing's been perfect for him yet, so he's still working on that. And like I say, I've tried to get up today and get it started, but it looks like I might have missed Tony. All right, so I've got a couple people watching out there, a couple of Travises on the YouTube side. Appreciate that. Thanks for chatting over there. Chatting in the comments is actually pretty helpful for a live show. You can go live and you could have a dead chat room, and when it plays back, as it renders into a video and becomes a show on your channel that people can watch in the future, it'll show that there's nobody watching on the comments. So that's kind of interesting. Back in the day, somebody could post something on YouTube, at least record their live show that way, strip the audio and send it out to the internet as a podcast. And if you didn't have anybody watching the show, I guess it wasn't a big deal. Nobody really paid much attention. But now that the chats get showed on the replay, it's pretty obvious when a chat sits there dead in the water. And again, it kind of depends on your reason for doing videos. If your reason for doing videos isn't have the audience conversation, then who really cares? But anyway, it's cool to see people chatting over there, because then when it does replay, people have something to read and see that people were actually part of the live happening instead of just dissemination of information. Anyway, so I think the topic of the show is cool. Kind of chatting here to help or to give Tony some time to jump back in if he jumps in. And I'm going to roll another cigarette up, and then I'll start reading the front page of Gun Channels. So Gun Channels is where we all met and where we hang out. It's a community. It's focused on firearms, built by us. Me and a couple other guys put it together. Me and a couple other guys keep it running. It's not an effort where I've paid some web designer to do it and then are at the mercy of some jerks who charge me every time I want to fiddle with it. I am the web designer, and it's really just a matter of resources, how much time, and every once in a while some cost, but mostly just time working on it. Anyway, Gun Channels is a community for shooters by shooters. We don't have much going on over there as far as sponsorships or worrying about trying to promote anything other than the Second Amendment, individual liberty, freedom, and whatnot. So not a lot of stuff being shoved down your throat to purchase. you want to support the place, there's ways to do it, everywhere from $1 a month up to as much as you want. It's completely run by its membership. There's no corporate funding at all. Well, I guess completely run by its membership and me and my credit cards. But that's not the emphasis. The emphasis is a place to collaborate and to gain experience and audience and encouragement and resources and skills so that you can go on and do whatever the hell you want to do. As long as you're Second Amendment focused at some point or another, you're a brother, you're one of the family. I guess a brother or a sister. We got girls over there now. Anyway, so I'm rolling this cigarette and wasting time while I'm doing that, and we'll go check out gun channels here. And like any social media platform, like any community, it's got a community gathering place. A couple of them. First or the biggest one would be the main page. So we're jumping open to that. The main page of gun channels, you could say, is like the, I don't know, village town center or something. Looks like I need to go in and change this up real quick. So there's a bunch of live shows that happen, and somebody's got to go in and update this thing every morning or every night. When would that be? Sunday. So is this Monday? Never enough ammo. That's Sunday. Food. That's Sunday. So this is Monday here. Bit behind the scenes there. We do a little bit of maintenance. So when you go to the main page of gun channels, you get this thing that tells you who's going on live today. It's Monday, so after this show, usually Knives already has the lobby going, so you don't even have to watch this. Go watch the lobby if you want to not watch this. Then Emily Monday will be on. That's Clover doing a show at 8 p.m. Eastern. Our family does a geek chat on Mondays. Locked and Loaded does his show also. I don't know why they're out of order. And then I should change that right now. Let's quit this. Next week they won't be out of order. All right, so then HVS, I'm not sure if he's doing this show. He was just in Arizona, but he's out in Hawaii on the other side of the island from the volcano doing a show every Monday. Then you get Matt's Matt's Monday show. It's like Guns and Geeks. After that, looks like Ellis does a show out of South Carolina, Monday night shootout. I don't know if that's just if that's his interview show or if that's his kind of get together and chat about topics type of show. And then we used to do the daily gun show every night. I don't know if we're doing that anymore. So anyway, we're going to go down the front page of gun channels. Knives just posted his live lobby, so it's a show very much like this one. You can just jump in there and check it out. It's got the live thing going. You can click on that and listen to what's happening. Right now, nobody's in there right now, but this link here is a link to join it. When you click on it, it's going to take you into Google Hangouts. I'm already in Google Hangouts, so I'm going to get a message that says, you're already in Google Hangouts. So otherwise I would just have jumped in right then. And it would look like this. So you try that sometime. Haven't before, it's a lot of fun, and the lobbies are a great way to do it with no consequence because nobody watches the lobbies. At least nobody watches it with scrutiny. People watch the lobbies to have something to talk about and to be part of a conversation. So it's a great place to stretch your legs and learn how to hang out in the live chat, see if it's something you're interested in. I think that was that. So then we're going to go down. This was the announcement for this one. Looks like 20 minutes ago. And it doesn't tell me how far we're into the video. Like Travis posted a video about his Glock. I don't know if it's his, but it's a Glock 37 or 357. I don't have filters to roll into these, so it's hard to smoke one of these. Tina posting some pictures. A little ammo cat. Then something about a tank, how to buy a tank. We had a Minuteman University. Nobody really showed up to that. Let's delete that. It's like we got a new member. I don't know if it tells everybody you got a new member, but as an admin, I get told when there's a new member. I like to see that. Tardot posted something about the top 5 gun stuff, defense caliber debate. Was that a video or a chat? It was a video. Minute video talking about, it looks like on the road type of thing. Chatting about the videos, or I mean chatting about the calibers. I haven't seen that one yet. Looks like Midnight had a show last night. He said it went on for a long time. They had a lot of stuff to talk about. Check that out. I'm gonna get to, oh, he didn't know how to post his show, and he refuses to learn, so everybody else has to do it for him. So that's why it's 2 posts there. This guy posted a thing, didn't know about the gun show, so let him know. We got a gun show over there, auction site for the Gun Channels members that want to use it, and lets you post things and sell things. Night Strike did some kind of show called Foreign and Domestic. Some show that's not even on Gun Channels, so I don't know why he listed it there. I'm trying to find Enrique Sonora's channel. Well, it doesn't have a channel, so I replied to him here that Enrique's a good friend from here in Tucson. He has a membership here on Gun Channels. In fact, he's one of the supporters. He's one of the people that keeps Gun Channels online, but he doesn't have a channel that he built up. So a little bit confusing, I suppose, because of the terminology or whatever. But we call the place Gun Channels. Channels are also a thing you can do here, right? You can create a channel, but when you join, you're not a channel as soon as you join, just like, well, I guess on YouTube, when you join, you're also a YouTube channel right away. So that's where I guess some confusion might come in. But when you join here, you're a member, like you are on Facebook. You're just a profile. You're a unit, a person. And then if you want to create a channel, you're more than welcome. As a member of Gun Channels, you can create as many channels as you want. Those channels can be focused on areas of interest, or a gun shop, or a type of shooting, or maybe like an event you go to, or it could be anything. Just a chat you do, a project you're doing on YouTube or Instagram or something. All these different things are things people make channels about. Enrique just hasn't made a channel, so I'm thinking he might have meant his profile page, just where he is here on Gun Channels. So I sent him a link to that. And as I say, he's a good friend. He's been around supporting our stuff since back in the old YouTube days, and I met him and his kid a couple of times. They showed up at the gun rally here in Phoenix. No, it wasn't the Angry Parade. It was the rally we had even before that. Matt's 2A rallies. And before that, he's been out putting boots on the ground, like being there for actual events, not just online and not just throwing money and stuff, but being there on the ground at various events throughout the years in Tucson. So Enrique is a really good guy. Another new member, another video from Travis talking about like a bug out bag type of thing. A little too, I like the concept of it, but my issue is with the ruggedness or the durability of it. I think in an emergency, like a bag that my mom would use on her trip to Hawaii isn't exactly what I want all my family stuff in. I'd rather have that in a strong backpack type bag. Get it on your back, off of your back, get your hands free. Maybe have everybody have a little bit of it instead of all in one bag. But I don't know. Good video though. And I don't live with tornadoes, so it's a little bit different when you just run into a tornado shelter instead of who knows where. Potatoes had a chat. Another lobby host, you could say, a person who puts up videos for a full 8 hours, lets anybody join, post the link to join right here. It's an indication that we have a good community, because people are able to take their channels, which is their property and their effort, and their responsibility. They're able to put them out with a link like that, and knowing that the community is going to be solid for them and not let anything happen. It's never really been an issue at all, except for a couple of times we've inadvertently copyrighted people because we're dumb, and we'll play something on there that YouTube decides is, something that requires punishment, but only because copyright. Nothing vulgar, nothing rude, nothing obscene. It's just, we have a pretty decent community here. I think that's a great example of it. So I wanted to reflect on that and say thanks to Potatoes, thanks to Pink, thanks to Knives, and thanks to Pants, some of the people have been doing consistent live chats. Pants hasn't in a while, but he did for a long time. Well, for a long time compared to people who don't do it at all, but not compared to Pink into Knives. And now Potatoes have been doing it for a while too. Oh, I got this song. It says Last Red Dawn, but it's a country song. They don't say Red Dawn. Very cool. Then we got something from Russ here. It looks like he's posting some kind of old catalogs or an old shooter's Bible up on the 24/7 Gun Show. That's pretty neat. I kind of like the old catalogs and stuff. I would assume that a little kid would like them because I liked them when I was a little kid, but I don't know, maybe kids are different now because of the internet. Another show by Potatoes. So he did one earlier in the day, and then that ran for a full 8 hours. If this thing had a timestamp on it, we'd see that this is probably about 8 hours out. So I did a couple of shows yesterday. I appreciate that. Two Hotties saying it's quiet. Sometimes when people post something like that, it'll encourage somebody to start a show. We got one from Budget Guns and Gear talking about this like kind of lean-to shelter. Kind of interesting. Then we got Snowy. I think he did a show on whatever this was, Saturday, to kind of fill in for Clearing the Chamber was offline. And I think that one went pretty good. And then I think something happened to his mic or something, and then he cut out. Then we got the announcement. Thanks for letting us know. Sometimes people just leave and don't tell people that their show's canceled, and that can be frustrating for your audience. So it's always a good idea. Very nice of you to do that for people. And Smeggy did an Every Second Matters update. He's does those for the legislative updates. Pretty good summary, like a 20-minute synopsis of what went on last month. Thanks for doing that, Smeggy. He's been busy, so he took time to do that this month. Another one from Potatoes. This time's Moon's posting his link there for him and letting people know that the show's live. Sometimes people will post a show. Remember, we're looking at this backwards in time, right? But as they get posted and go this way, you might post that you've done something live or you've got something going on, and just 3 or 4 people post something. So I think this is probably an effort from Moon to let people know that this show was still going. Then I wanted to let people know about Rupan's Every Second Matters show. So we went ahead and let people know about that. He did a pretty decent show, kind of concentrated on Massachusetts a little bit, but he really did a show for everybody. A couple other people jumped in. Tardot did, I guess that's him letting them know. So he didn't do a show, right? Rick's show on Fridays or on Saturdays is Rick's Life as I See It. He's been doing that one for a while now. I'm pretty sure he had quite a few people in this one. I'm trying to remember. It was Weed and Whataburger. So I think that title brought some people in. Smeggy posted his show earlier in the day just to kind of get it set up, and then didn't do his show until later. But that was that post. Potatoes doing another live lobby yesterday. Appreciate that. And that was Saturday, sorry. And then Caliber Corner went live. I think they took a week off before that. So cool to see Caliber Corner's back. I didn't get to see the show this week. Sandhills did this cool meme, or not really a meme. It's a thing from CNN. No, USA Today. This like infographic. Now I've done this. I'm not saying I'm perfect because Colorado and Wyoming look the same. But yeah, they said this is supposed to be a graphic of Colorado marijuana being smuggled all across the country, except they got it all coming from Wyoming. So I don't know if Wyoming's part of the whole thing, or they sell so much around the states that there's none left in Colorado. So that's why it's intentionally left gray. But yeah, they're a bunch of idiots at a major news source that double checked it. Editors double checked it. Graphics people double checked it, and then it went out. So hilarious. Oh, shit, that was the front page. I guess I shouldn't have clicked off of that. That is taking us through Friday, though, so we're getting pretty close to catching back up with a post about this show. And we scroll back down, then we got Liberty Cat sending in this video from this dummy, I forget what state he's in. Some normal state, too. Anyway, some guy who's a representative and vandalista, I guess, is doing like an editorial on it, but he shows the video in here somewhere, and here's the video. So this guy is like, oh, I'm in the Army, and I don't like guns, Well, he says something like, I used a gun like this one in the military, and they're all giving him shit because it's a 22. But the point is, you know, he's looking like he knows what he's talking about. He's taking the gun all apart. It looks crazy, and now he's throwing it in the fire. Like, I don't care about mainstream agendas or something, or all this. Ban assault rifles meant for war. So this guy is anti, he's a dumbass. So they've been talking about that, or they were talking about it on Vandalis's chat there, or his show, but his video, but they've been talking about that in the chats for most of the weekend. I was digging through Instagram and found this from back in 2016. It's not quite 2 years old now. This was one of Dead Horse's builds. This wasn't his first one, but he did these long 4-hour builds where we would start with the parts on a the disassembled parts on a table, and he would literally create a gun in the 4 hours of the chat, and people would ask questions and whatnot. So literally 4 hours of what YouTube now bans. Anyway, so I can't post the video anymore, but it's banned. But I thought this little graphic was cool because it's literally got pretty much every host except for Jimmy in here. It's got Bob and Dano and Z and Smeggy. So the only person we're missing, I think, is Jimmy. So anyway, kind of a cool picture I found from a couple years ago. This is just a commercial for gear websites. Check that out and buy things. Stare at this for like a half an hour. Don't eat anything for like 2 days, and then stare at this for like a half an hour, and then go buy things at gearwebsites.com. It's always a good plan. Outlaw went live. This was the first. Tater again doing a lobby. It's pretty cool. I think we had 3 concurrent live things going on at that time. Then we had the Daily Gun Show. Count that. Edge to the show on Friday. Slim posted this thing about Yankee's pistol project. I guess Yankee wants everybody to post videos about his pistol project. I guess he takes his Patreon money and gives guns to people. Then we got the Liberty Cat posting another thing. It looks like it's about something in Virginia. Clover posted his Friday show. This is something about selling knives. I think we saw that following through on that. So we told him about the gun show, or the gun witch, the 24/7 gun show. We did a scheduling show here. What are we doing? We I don't remember what I did on that show. Did something live. Then there's knives. There's knives again, and there's the. What is this? I guess that's not the early watch. So then we get down to some of another one of the Daily Gun shows. Budget Guns and Gear. It was on the first. What day was the first? Okay, so that was all Friday. And then this one was pretty interesting, actually. This was maybe 4 minutes. I don't know if I should play this now or not. It's pretty good. It's pretty
killed 4 students at Kent State.
It's pretty good info, accurate info. This guy's a good talker or whatever, a good
on the right side of history.
Speaker.
But you're historically illiterate. You, Sarah.
It's pretty on point. I don't think any left's going to actually watch it, but it's a good way to get a synopsis of the pro-gun points of view. Bill to expand public shooting ranges advances in Congress. I didn't even see that one. Thanks for posting that, Knives. Posting something about installation of the sites. Another profile picture, a couple of new members, and then the breakfast chat. Got Patriot posting his swag he got from buying the dog tag from Clover over on Clover's website to support his channel. And let's see. Now I did a couple of chats to let people know I got my live stream back. Tina made a thing about 80%ers. I posted a link to that one. Like Taters had another chat. This is the day before. Did we not do a chat on Friday? Then Knives, Snowy, and then eventually here we'll get to another early watch. So there's the last one, which I guess is Thursday. So that's a little bit wandering down the main page of gun channels. See if anybody's over here watching. Doesn't look like it. Looks like Tony's gone. See if anybody's talking on YouTube's. I don't know why, but yeah, they are. Let's Let's see. I was watching the military arms range. Let's see. We made a huge decision last night on the show. Give me national news. Question: I was watching the military arms channel's range test of the Remington whatever pistol. The gun was plagued with issues. How will Remington survive if they can't make guns that work? I don't know. They'll just quit making pistols again, right? They made rifles for the longest time. I think they do pretty good with that. But Remington surviving, they've already failed, right? They're bought by the investment company, so they might be struggling. Chili and cheese is the best carnival food. All right. Yeah, I was talking probably about things. Be switching to a backpack soon. Set up for a decade now, but we have free hands and support event. Like I said, I think you're talking about just jumping to a shelter, so it's a little bit different than like getting into a vehicle and potentially being on the road for 6 months. I don't know what that means. Oh, he's going to the library with his kid, I think. Vanessa's sitting in a hospital cafeteria until my appointment. No volume today. Just want to scare whatever. Yeah, that's good. You know, I don't have to sit around for your hospital appointments. I just don't go to the hospital. Black Market, Colorado, being same can. That says local gun shop at a Glock, Gen 5, 10 round Evil Mag. I would rather have fun size Glock. Okay. My roll later, heavy duty cane. I don't know what that's saying. All right, so Vanessa's talking with everybody in the chat, so you all got to see a little bit of a crazy mirror effect there. Frustrating, nobody's on the gun channel side. I'll not bitch about that. I'll just end the show. Thanks everybody for joining. We'll be back tomorrow, maybe with Tony if he's back. And again, appreciate the people who've efforted with Tony and Jimmy to create the Early Watch Nation and the effort to get news from like Plain Zone, people in the various states that are aware of their local area regional issues. Send the information in to Jimmy and Tony via a couple of different formats right now because of the transition here. The easiest way to get a hold of them with news is to write Tony. It's earlywatchil@gmail.com. So earlywatchil, like Illinois, at gmail.com, and then send news to Tony that way. He'll go through it and then read the news that's interesting to him or pertinent, I guess, on the next show. Then the Early Watch Nation is also keeping track of legal issues right now. I don't know where we're at. I think Congress just took off for a minute, so I'm guessing they'll be coming back and voting, so that those channels of communication are vital. A lot of people use those, you know, personally to follow what's going on, but in the grand scheme of things, anybody that's out there laying down consistent information is going to be helping out the internets. The internets are more than just the human beings. A lot of robots use it. It's how the algorithms and other things figure out what is interesting on the internet, what's being searched. So activity on the internet is useful. It's a worthwhile effort, and people that are efforting like that should be commended. It's the kind of work that doesn't get recognition. It doesn't get a lot of views. It doesn't get a lot of accolades, but it's the effort that makes the machines run. So I do appreciate everybody that's doing that. It's the reason I'm in here helping these guys out, because it's an excellent effort to see dissemination of information come from the bottom up, from people that are truly interested in the subject to others that are interested, and not from an agenda-based people that are interested in manipulating, disseminating the information down with no interactivity. With all that, I don't know what else to say. Thanks for showing up, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.